You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
Good morning. It is Friday, May the 4th. Glad you're with us. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Webb. We begin this morning on a fire in downtown Sarasota. There's a fire at the Classico restaurant on Main Street. Right now, we do have a crew on scene.
This is at Main, not too far from Palm Avenues. Not clear yet if there was actually a fire. Let's find out more from Marla Spence, who is live at the scene. Marla?
Good morning, guys. Crews just left the scene about 2 minutes ago. I had the chance to speak to the battalion chief with Sarasota County Fire Department, and he tells me here at the Classico Cafe and Bar, there was actually a shorted light system over the bar that caused a few of the wiring for those lights to be shorted and also to catch fire. He said there was no extreme damage to this restaurant, and it's not expected to be closed for the entire day. And crews were out here since about 4 o'clock, and like I said, they just wrapped up from the scene, so everything seems to be okay with this restaurant. If any more information becomes available, we will keep you updated with the latest. Reporting live in Sarasota, Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you so much, Marla. It is time now to head over to First Alert meteorologist John Scalzi with a look at the weekend weather.
And you know what? It doesn't look so great for the weekend. But for today, it looks fantastic, kind of similar to yesterday, only just a little bit more humid out there this morning. We have not a lot in the way of any kind of cloud cover across our region today, but as we head into tomorrow, a cluster of clouds and showers out in Gulf waters will gradually get closer to us, increasing our moisture very rapidly and producing showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. I say it's not going to be that great. It's going to be okay. There's going to be plenty of sunshine and some fair weather clouds during, most of the morning and into the early afternoon. It's just every afternoon, Saturday and Sunday, you're going to have a good chance of seeing some showers around and thunderstorms as well. Temperatures generally are running around 4 or 5 degrees warmer than they were 24 hours ago. We'll have the complete forecast for you coming up in a few minutes.
All right, talk to you then. Thank you, John. Checking the roads. First off, in Manatee County, nothing much to report so far. Looks like a clear sail right now if you head out the door. Checking farther south now into the upper half of Sarasota County. Also no red to report. There actually is some buildup on US 41 at the 301 split. I can tell you that there's some orange cones out on the road and some workers there. So be aware of the 41-301 split. Also showing some red on 41 around the Sailor and Nurse statue as you come past the Ringling Causeway. Otherwise clear. And checking our final maps to the south, that looks like the only thing we see in the red is way out there on State Road 72, pretty far out, close to the Peace River. Not sure what that is. We'll check on that shortly here. It's 5:02 on this Friday morning. And Hawaii's Kaleo volcano is erupting. It's causing lava to shoot up from the ground. Mandatory evacuations are underway around the eastern side of Hawaii's Big Island. The eruption began late yesterday. This is one of the world's most active volcanoes. It is located in the Hawaiian Volcanoes National Park. About 15,000 acres of the park are closed right now due to the possibility of a new eruption and unstable activity there.
Well, those red light cameras are here to stay, at least for now. It was a unanimous vote yesterday by the Florida Supreme Court. Local law enforcement can still use those red light cameras to catch traffic violators. Now, Melissa Wandal, a leading advocate for red light cameras and traffic safety, is happy with that decision. Her husband, Mark, was killed back in 2003 when a vehicle hit the car that he was a passenger in, all while his wife was 9 months pregnant.
To live this life knowing that my daughter never got to meet my husband and my husband never got to meet my daughter is my greatest tragedy.
It's not about giving tickets or abusing the system. It's about safety, and if we can save one life, it's worth it.
Now, the Florida Supreme Court's decision to keep those red light cameras stems from a ticket given to a South Florida driver who had sued one city because he felt that the red light cameras gave too much authority to the vendor.
On the Suncoast at a gas station, this time in Punta Gorda, police say they found A credit card skimming device and a gas pump at the corner of 41 and Burnt Store Road. No word yet if anyone's information was ripped off by that skimming device. Now, here's how you can avoid becoming a victim. Check to make sure the gas pump dispenser cabinet is closed and has not been tampered with. Also, use the gas pump closest to the store. Thieves often place the skimmers far from the store where the clerk is less likely to see them. Use a credit card, not a debit card, because credit cards have better fraud protection and money isn't taken out immediately. If using a debit card, choose to run it as a credit card. And lastly, monitor your bank account.
Well, it's an outbreak that's hit 25 states and sent more than 100 so far to the hospital. Thankfully, there haven't been any current cases of that E. coli outbreak from romaine lettuce here in Florida just yet. What we know so far is that health officials have tied the outbreak to lettuce grown in Yuma, Arizona. So right now, the lettuce on your grocery store shelves is probably not from Yuma, but the CDC recommends throwing away any romaine lettuce in your fridge right now if you don't know exactly where it came from.
What's true is that E. coli has mutated as a result of animals eating genetically modified foods. And so we're seeing a variety of E. coli that is not natural to the human body. We have E. coli in our gut. You do, I do, everybody does. But we have a mutated form of E. coli that then becomes a threat to our health as food poisoning.
Now, only romaine lettuce was affected, so if you want to be extra safe right now, it's not a bad idea to switch to a different kind of lettuce just for the time being.
Some tainted seafood caused about 100 people to get sick in California. Yeah, some raw oysters from Western Canada are to blame. Nearly 200 people got sick in British Columbia from where the raw oysters came. Now, if possible, other states received the oysters. No word yet, though, if these have possibly turned up in Florida.
And now to a developing story this morning. Volkswagen's former CEO has now been charged with conspiracy to commit fraud. CEO Martin Winterhorn is the latest one to be charged. Now, those charges stem from the German automaker's diesel emissions cheating scandal. Volkswagen admitted back in 2015 that they installed software to cheat emission standards in around 500,000 diesel cars sold between 2009 and 2015. And it was possible that as many as 11 million vehicles worldwide had that questionable software. It was to make the car's emissions look cleaner than they actually were. Now, the company agreed to pay just over $4 billion in fines and over $15 billion to consumers.
On a lighter note, some of the best tennis pros on the Suncoast are coming together tonight for a fun event in Sarasota. The annual Buddy Up Tennis for Down Syndrome is tonight at the Bath and Racquet Club. A dozen area teaching pros from local clubs will lead a clinic for those with Down syndrome and their families and friends and supporters. The founder of the local chapter says it's a win-win all around.
It's going to be a great event. We have Nick Bollettieri coming out to support our athletes, as well as 12 other teaching pros from all over the community.
The event is tonight at 6:30 p.m. at Bath and Racquet on 41 behind Trader Joe's, just south of Bee Ridge Road.
And here's something to check out this weekend. It is a 45-year tradition that's continuing. The 2018 Amateur Sand Sculpture Contest is taking place tomorrow on Siesta Beach. You can go as a spectator, or if you're feeling very creative, Ray, you can get in on the contest. Sign up starts at 8:30 tomorrow morning. Judging begins at 11. The best part, the whole event is free.
Love that sand sculpture.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
I don't love the phrase raw oysters, though.
Yes, it's Roy Oysters as it's coming out today because it's Friday, folks.
He used to work here.
Roy Oysters.
Roy Oysters.
Okay.
Anyway, 5:08 right now. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast. The latest in your first alert traffic, and it's every mother's fear caught on camera. A daycare teacher was seen in the Snapchat video forcing a child under a plastic container. How parents are reacting.
And check this out, the strange place that officials found this baby tiger cub. We're going to tell you where that was and how the baby is doing this morning. But first, let's take a live look out of Atlanta, Georgia, into Ray Collins' favorite Ferris wheel in the entire world out there. What's the name of it again?
I forgot again.
Okay, good story. Good talk.
62 degrees, 62 degrees right now in Atlanta. But let's talk about the weather here, John Scalzi.
Well, it's getting a little bit more humid outside this morning. We're about 5 degrees warmer than we were 24 hours ago. And through the day, it's going to be nice. No doubt. 5 degrees? No, I don't think so. About 85 degrees. 89 degrees by 3 p.m. And we'll probably see a few more clouds around this afternoon. Now, your commute forecast is good. None of the inclement weather boxes checked. And as you head out the door this morning, low 70s. Coming home tonight, mid-80s. Not much changes. Sunny and dry conditions for most of the day. Across the boards, all airport hubs serving Sarasota International looking good right now. So that's not a problem, according to the FAA. We do have rain in the forecast for the weekend, though. We'll have those forecast details in a second.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7.
When I heard Cohen's retainer of $35,000 when he was doing no work for the president, I said, but that's how he's repaying. That's how he's repaying it.
Rudy Giuliani says President Trump paid back Michael Cohen after the president claimed he was unaware of the payoff to Stormy Daniels. I'm Alan Cohn. You don't have to pay anyone to watch the Trapezoid. It's free.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
All right, crew, let's get started. Sure.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
Looking for something fun to do on a Friday night? Then come to Music on Main, the first Friday of every month at Lakewood Ranch. Enjoy free live music, dancing, great food, and lots of fun for every family member, even the furry ones. Meet up with friends, enjoy activities for the kids, or make it a special date night. And be sure to stop by the ABC 7 booth and say hello. Mark your calendars for Music on Main, first Friday of the month, 6 to 9 at Lakewood Ranch. Brought to you by ABC 7 and these sponsors.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Temperature coming in a little bit warmer this morning at 67 degrees. We have a dew point value that has risen. Remember earlier in the week we were talking about how we'd see those dew points begin to rise on Friday and spike tomorrow. Well, we're in the process of starting to see that happen. Dew points now at 65 as opposed to the upper 50s, which is where we were yesterday. Still comfortable enough at 65. We have a relative humidity of 93% and an east-northeast wind coming in at about 6 miles per hour. So what are we going to see? We're going to watch those winds shift a little more southerly tomorrow. We're going to watch that dew point value climb up to near 70 or even into the 70s as you head into tomorrow morning, really spiking in the afternoon, and a few showers and thunderstorms around. Local temperatures across the region are all kind of uniformly raising about 5 to 7 degrees on the boards this morning. That's because of that extra little bit of humidity around 70 close to the coast. Inland temperatures even a little bit warmer. We've got 4 degrees above where we were 24 hours ago at Siesta Key. Northport coming in at 5 degrees. Arcadia at 6 degrees above where we were. We'll climb today to a temperature that is just about where we were yesterday. Look for 85 degrees by 12 noon, 89 degrees by 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Don't think we're going to see much in the way of rainfall around today. Those drought indexes probably lowered a little bit from where they were recorded yesterday just because of the extra humidity in the air, kind of reducing the threat of wildfire spread a little bit. But it's tomorrow when hopefully we'll be able to get a little rainfall around here and reduce those drought indexes and hopefully be able to get the rainfall without lightning strikes. So we're looking at some wind arrows that are generally going to be out of the east today, I think, throughout the day. Temperatures will continue to rise. Sky cover will be pretty minimal today. I think we'll have a lot of sunshine around. Maybe some building clouds in the afternoon, a little more cloud cover, especially in inland areas and points to the south. And those winds continuing to be pretty much out of the east. Now, tomorrow, kind of a different story, but through the day today, everything looks great hour by hour. This mass of cloud cover, while non-tropical in nature, is an upper level low that will be moving toward the state of Florida, enhancing our rain chances. Here's your futurecast. Watch what happens. The showers associated with this system move closer to us pretty quickly, and then by Saturday, I think we'll see some scattered showers and thunderstorms around, something we haven't seen for a while. That will linger probably into Sunday morning early on. And then after that all happens, a frontal boundary that stretches along the eastern seaboard, that's where that line of cloud cover is, sinks southward and kind of clears us out, and then we'll be left with the rest of the work week looking pretty good. So we get through Saturday, particularly Saturday night into Sunday day, and then we'll start to see some clearing take place and some nicer weather coming our way. So for boaters, today, winds up just a little bit, coming in out of the northwest, switching northeast at about 10 to 15. And as far as the forecast goes for the 7 days ahead, we'll look for 89 degrees today. Tomorrow, about the same in the morning, but you'll start to notice the cloud cover building because of that spike in humidity. So our daytime high temperature will be just a little bit lower, and Saturday night's temperature will be significantly warmer because of that extra humidity. Plus, especially in the afternoon, after about 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you'll start to see that 50% chance of shower and thunderstorm chance move into the forecast. That will linger into Sunday, about a 40% chance on Sunday. Then everything kind of clears out, and we're going to probably be left with mostly sunny skies for the balance of next work week. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take a look outside to your first alert traffic out there this morning. Starting off in Manatee County, no real blips out there, not too much to see at this hour. Everything is running pretty smoothly. Even if you're heading into those bridges into Bradenton, those are looking pretty decent around this time of the day. Heading into Sarasota County, those roads are not looking too bad either. We're having some slowdowns right there on University Parkway and Fruitville right around the 301 area. Other than that, just a couple little blips, a little bit on Bee Ridge Road. Other than that, not too much to see. If your commute is going to be taking you farther south today in the next half an hour or so, you can see as well that those maps, if we can move those, are looking pretty good as well. It is 5:17, and that is your first alert traffic. Well, an Iowa community is in shock this morning after video of a toddler being forced under a plastic container was released.
And daycare employees seem to be doing nothing to help the child. Reporter Tommy Clark takes it from here.
This video appears to show a child being forced under a tote at a daycare center. Concerned parents sent the video to KCCI, including the parent and former Traditions daycare worker we spoke with.
In the video, all you can see is a tote being held down by one of the staff members. There's a little girl, and she pops up, and you can see her crying.
She posted the video online after seeing it on Snapchat, saying she wanted parents to know what happened.
I did my part because I am a mandatory reporter, so I did contact the worker.
This video was shot a month ago, but Kristen Netlin, the daycare owner we spoke with, says she only found out about the incident this week. In this email to workers, she writes, when the video came to the attention of the director, both individuals were asked about the situation. As a result of the investigation, neither individual's work for Traditions.
I understand, 1 minute kids can go from like laughing and playing to crying, but if you know the little girl's under there and she's crying, don't laugh and hold it back down, just let her out. And it was wrong for them to post it too.
5:18 right now, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
Twitter users, listen up. What you need to do this morning to keep your account secure.
And at 5:30, new twists in the case of President Trump's alleged payments to Stormy Daniels. What his attorney is saying now about where that money went. Here's a live shot of Sarasota's Bath and Racquet Club. There's the director of tennis, Michael Brandon.
This morning.
Yeah, he's out there. Tonight is a big event called Tennis Under the Stars for the Buddy Up Tennis for Down Syndrome group. It's a great organization. I'll be the MC tonight again. Looking forward to a great night under the stars.
It's going to be a beautiful one out there. The news continues. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast right here on ABC 7.
From the moment she walked in the door, we stopped having to go to the pharmacy. Certain prescriptions, my health plan or the pharmacy wasn't even able to get here. And hospice provided them, and all we had to do was call up, and the next thing they know, there was another, a delivery.
Invest in Kids is a $7.5 million project to build a new Boys and Girls Club in South Manatee County. I'm Caleb Grimes, and I was a club kid. It's where I learned important life lessons, leadership, integrity, responsibility, and baseball. Thousands of kids attend the Boys and Girls Clubs, and after years of use, their club is slowly falling apart. Help us invest in kids. Make your donation today.
Thank you!
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
Thank you.
You are the best protection she has. Buddy up. I'm Jill Harrington. Please visit helpsavethenextgirl.com and get involved.
Welcome back. It is a beautiful morning starting once again. A little more humid this morning here on the Suncoast, but it's looking up to be a pretty decent day as well. You're watching Good Morning. Thank you for joining us this morning. Well, veterinarians at a zoo in Texas sprang into action this week to save a tiger cub found by a patrol agent at the U.S.-Mexico border.
Someone dropped off a bag containing that tiger cub. Now, a guy named Trayson Bragg describes the serious condition that the cub was left in.
Unpredictable and at times dangerous. That's how Derek DeLuna describes the U.S.-Mexico border. His feelings about the feds who guard it.
They just go and protect us from the unknown.
Border Patrol agent Maynard says yesterday the unknown became the unbelievable. After receiving a report of activity along the border, he headed to the scene. He says initially, nothing seemed unusual.
I came across this duffel bag on the ground, and at first I thought it was maybe potentially narcotics.
As he got closer, well, let's just say he was wrong.
The first thing I saw was a couple of big paws sitting there, and I knew it was something interesting, so I opened the bag a little bit more, and to my surprise, it was a tiger.
Maynard says the young tiger was rushed to the Gladys Porter Zoo to be inspected. Senior veterinarian Thomas DeMar says initially the tiger wasn't in the best condition.
The tiger was hyperventilating, was hot to the touch, actually had a temperature of 107.
So veterinarians at the zoo took emergency measures. DeMar tells us they used ice, cold water, and several IVs to lower the animal's temperature. A blood test later revealed the tiger was sedated. DeMar says the young cat is now doing much better. He tells us big cats should only be handled by professionals.
They revert back to predator behavior, and you don't know what will trigger that, but inside that cute furry body is still a predator.
He explains for now the tiger will remain in the zoo's care.
This is the 12th tiger the zoo there has cared for that was seized by police in the last 10 years.
And caught on camera video out of Louisiana after a chemical plant catches on fire. This massive fireball right here was caught on camera near the site of Flowchem, which is an oil field chemical provider. Now, several explosions were actually heard in the nearby areas. One of the chemicals that contributed to this fire is one that's found in cigarette smoke, gasoline, and airplane fuel. A mandatory evacuation was issued yesterday for both people and businesses about a mile north of that facility. So far, though, no injuries have been reported. Well, change your password now. That is the warning this morning from Twitter.
We find out why in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, a warning from Twitter.
The social media site says all 330 million of its users should change their passwords. Twitter says a glitch exposed a substantial number of passwords internally for several months, but it says it found no signs of a breach or a misuse of those passwords by anyone. A surprise revelation from YouTube's CEO, the website now has 1.8 billion logged in viewers every month.
And that doesn't include the people who aren't logged in, which means the actual number of people watching YouTube videos is much higher. And finally, robots are now cooking the food at a new restaurant in Boston.
Spice was the idea of 4 MIT grads. Humans prep the meals and finish them off, but the robots do the rest. World-famous chef Daniel Boulud is an investor and the restaurant's culinary director.
Another proof they're taking over. Those are your Tech Bites.
Jetsons.
Tech Bites, sponsored by Xeljanz.
Needles, essential for the cactus, but maybe not for people with rheumatoid arthritis. Because there are options, like an unjection. Xeljanz XR, a once-daily pill for adults with moderate to severe RA for whom methotrexate did not work well enough. Xeljanz XR can reduce pain, swelling, and further joint damage, even without methotrexate. Xeljanz XR can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections, lymphoma, and other cancers have happened. Don't start Xeljanz XR if you have an infection, tears in the stomach or intestines, low blood cell counts, and higher liver tests and cholesterol levels have happened. Your doctor should perform blood tests before you start and while taking Xeljanz XR and monitor certain liver tests. Tell your doctor if you are in a region where fungal infections are common, and if you have had TB, hepatitis B or C, or are prone to infections. Needles. Fine for some things, but for you, 1 pill a day may provide symptom relief. Ask your doctor about Xeljanz XR, an injection.
When ABC7 declares a first alert weather day, it means we can expect major changes to weather conditions here along the Suncoast.
It means there could be severe, potentially dangerous weather ahead.
We tell you when a first alert weather day is coming because we want you to be prepared.
A first alert weather day is an advance warning. We'll let you know about any changes in the weather when the first signs appear.
ABC7 First Alert Weather, we're here for you.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks. In ICU, he went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
WWSB ABC7 is an equal opportunity employer, and we're looking for qualified people to join our dynamic team. For a list of current openings and to apply online, visit www.mysuncoast.com/contact/employment. If you're a motivated team player and you want a rewarding career in a fun, fast-paced working environment, WWSB ABC7 could be the perfect fit for you. Check out our list of openings now. ABC7 is the most watched, most trusted news source on the Suncoast, and we owe it all to you, our loyal viewers. Thank you for making us #1. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
This morning, the latest twist in President Trump's alleged hush money payment to Stormy Daniels. Today, just where his lawyer says that money really went.
An electrical issue brought some fire trucks to downtown Sarasota this morning. No serious damage at the Classico restaurant. And with hurricane season less than 4 weeks away, we'll tell you about a new transportation plan to help with potential evacuations all this half hour on Good Morning Suncoast. And good morning, 5:30 now, Friday. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Webb. It is Friday, May the 4th.
You're excited.
Be with you, Ray.
You love
That's right.
Star Wars.
I got it out, folks. Happy Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. And also with you, John Scalzi. How's the forecast looking this morning?
Live long and prosper. No,
No!
wait, that's the wrong one, right? That's the wrong one.
Wrong one.
I'm not geeky enough. We're looking at we're looking at a pretty nice day today. We've actually got a few clouds out in Gulf waters, but really nothing that's going to stop us from having plenty of sunshine wall to wall as we head into periods this afternoon. We'll watch the temperature start to climb as well. We're already just a little bit warmer than we were 24 hours ago thanks to increased humidity across the region. Your eye might be drawn to that cluster of clouds out in Gulf waters. That is an approaching trough of low pressure that promises us better chances of showers over the weekend. Yet we could kind of use the showers. We don't really want the thunderstorms because of the threat of wildfire spread due to lightning strikes at this time of year. But I think showers are probably our best possibility for rain over the weekend. Looking at the planner, we go up to about 89 degrees, which is about where we were yesterday, and I think that will not be true over the weekend because of the extra clouds and rainfall around. We'll talk about that forecast coming up in a few.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking the roads right now. Nothing major to speak of so far in Manatee County. Let's go farther south now and check out the roads in the upper half of Sarasota County. Nothing really right now. There were some earlier issues along the bayfront that have since cleared up. And then checking the final maps for the south, nothing to speak of. Well, there's a little blip there way out toward Arcadia, westbound State Road 72. We'll follow that throughout the morning. It's 5:32 right now on this Friday. New developments in the ongoing story about possible hush money from then candidate Donald Trump to an adult film actress. As ABC's Serena Marshall tells us, some phone calls may have been tracked by federal investigators.
With the truth emerging on the payments to porn star Stormy Daniels, the president's new lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, told ABC News overnight he believes this one is settled, saying, "I think the investigation with him largely fell apart with the loss of the campaign finance possible violation." On Fox News,
but it wasn't for the campaign. Right. It was to save their not their marriage as much as their reputation.
But minutes later, Giuliani suggested it actually was about the campaign.
Imagine if that came out on October 15th, 2016, in the middle of the last debate with Hillary Clinton.
The new admission of the payment came after months of denials by the White House.
How are the American people to trust or believe what is said here or what is said by the president?
We give the very best information that we have at the time.
The often conservative-leaning Wall Street Journal in an editorial questions, given the attempted cover-up, does Trump want Americans to believe him in a genuine crisis? Meanwhile,
Mr. Cohen, why do you think they raided your office in the hotel room?
Sources tell ABC News that in the days leading up to the raid of the home, office, and hotel room of President Trump's personal attorney Michael Cohen, who's also responsible for that original payment to Daniels, federal investigators were tracking his phone calls, watching who he was calling and who was calling him in real time, but not listening to those conversations. Former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani told ABC News he doesn't think any legal fight will come from the Stormy Daniels payment, but instead in the form of a subpoena from the special counsel's office. He put the odds at 50%, but said, "I've got to be ready for that 50%. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Washington.
Back on the Suncoast, an update this morning on a road that's been shut down all week after a water main break. Pine Brook Road in Venice is back open this morning. The pipe broke while contractors were doing some routine work earlier this week. The boil watery advisory for that area has also been lifted. Right now, 7 Manatee County gang members behind bars. Prosecutors say the 7 sold cocaine, heroin, and other drugs on the streets of Manatee County. And yesterday, a federal judge announced a 12-count indictment that included both murder and drug charges. Officials say the deaths that they've investigated were unrelated to the drug charges, but happened sometime between January of 2016 and 2017.
Happening now, the U.S. and China are in another standoff over the South China Sea at a time when U.S. officials are hoping to avoid a trade war with China. They're in the middle of a dispute over the Spratly Islands, where U.S. intelligence says China likely deployed anti-aircraft missiles. All right, shifting gears now, happening today and tomorrow, the city of Venice is partnering with other organizations to hold a Hurricane Expo as a public service prior to hurricane season that starts on June 1st. Various speakers from the county, sheriff's office, Red Cross, and Suncoast Humane Society will be at the event. Vendors, raffles, and food will be available. The event is free and starts from 9:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. today and tomorrow in the Venice Community Center.
Well, we are just 27 days away from the start of hurricane season, and Sarasota County has announced a new transportation plan, this one to help people and their pets get to evacuation centers. Now, this new transportation plan will only be activated when they declare an emergency in the county and they open those evacuation centers. For more on how to get registered for the free emergency transportation services, it's very simple. Just head online to mysuncoast.com. You can find the link right in that story.
A huge revitalization project is underway along Seaboard Avenue in Venice. While the city says no businesses will be forced to relocate, many owners aren't convinced. The city says they're working to create a tax incentive to help businesses either move or remodel their buildings to change their appearances.
There's tremendous potential in this area for make a lot more out of it and give all the residents of Venice and surrounding areas an opportunity to come here and really enjoy more of it.
The city is now looking to the Economic Advisory Board to have ideas to implement the tax incentive there.
And switching gears, looking for something pretty cool to do with your family this weekend? Well, the Sarasota County Library is hosting Free Comic Book Day on Saturday. Every child who visits any county library location will receive a free comic book. It all kicks off around 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Now, that event is part of the International Free Comic Book Day. Ray, it's a wonderful day. It's a great effort to get kids interested in reading, even if it includes reading comics. Sometimes that's all you need to get excited.
I read the Archies growing up.
I love that. I read Superman,
Did you?
Batman,
Sure. There you go.
Aquaman, and Wonder Woman.
All right, keep going.
Well, speaking of Wonder Woman and superheroes, some of the best tennis pros on the Suncoast are coming together tonight for a pretty cool event.
Yeah, the annual Buddy Up Tennis for Down Syndrome event is tonight at Bath & Racket. Marla Spence is live right there with the director of tennis with details of this fundraiser. Marla, good morning.
Good morning, guys. A very exciting day is expected to happen as so many people will be on these tennis courts hitting the balls with their rackets for an exciting event, which is with Buddy Up with Tennis. Joining me now is Michael Brandon, who is the club manager here at Bath & Racket. Good morning to you.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. So I hear it's going to be a very exciting morning,
Yes.
a very exciting day. The anticipation is just growing among
Yes.
a large community here in Sarasota. Tell us all about it.
Yes, it's Buddy Up Tennis. This is our second year hosting. We had such a great time last year. We couldn't wait to do it again. Been working with Allison Davis and Sarah Davis and Beth Gibson up in Ohio to get this event off the ground, and we just can't wait. We're so excited.
And talking about Sarah and Allison Davis, they are an instrumental part. If you guys don't know, they are a set of triplets. One who was Sarah was born with Down syndrome, correct. And they are from the Sarasota area, yes. And they play an instrumental part in Buddy Up with Tennis. How instrumental are they to this event, Tennis with the Stars?
Oh, it's huge. Allison and Sarah are kind of like attached at the hip. Sarah's always there, shaking hands with sponsors, getting to know people in the community. She's so well respected. Young lady who's not even out of college yet. She's basically going to rule the world as soon as she gets out of college. Every day so detailed, putting this whole event together with me. I'm just kind of amazed at her professionalism, and Sarah is right along with her every single part of the way.
Awesome. Yeah, I had a chance to speak to them yesterday, and wonderful young ladies spearheading such a great event like this, Tennis with the Stars. So who are the stars that will be here today?
So we're going to have local ABC 7 anchor Ray Collins, so we're super excited about that, and thanks for coming out this morning to talk to us. Also, the legendary Nick Bollettieri from IMG Academies in Bradenton will be here. We couldn't be more happy to have Nick. Nick actually hosted this event a couple years ago, and he's been to Bath and Racket several times, and he's been a huge influence in my life and my career. I actually worked there also as a tennis coach, and so he's going to be here. Huge star power, tons of tennis, tons of fun. We can't wait.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And there's also going to be a fundraiser, a silent auction going to be happening, and all that starts at 6 o'clock this evening. People who are thinking about coming out here, they can do so. Registration will still be going on, and that event will be right here at Bath and Racket starting at 6 o'clock tonight. Reporting live in Sarasota, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you, Marla. And you said this is one of your favorite events to do throughout the year, right?
Very sweet event. The Down syndrome players are there, and their parents are just so happy to see them out there having fun, and it's a feel-good event all around.
Excellent. Yeah. Get out there and take advantage of it.
Up next, First Alert Traffic and...
An annual fundraiser for pediatric cancer research is coming up. The millions of dollars that they're trying to raise to make a difference.
Yeah, we'll meet one of the local recipients and also a 18-year-old who's helped raise money as well. Great story there about Kyle Peters coming up first. Looks like a computer animation, a beautiful shot of downtown Sarasota. How's the forecast, John Scalzi?
You know, not too terribly bad. If you notice that shot, you'll see kind of a little bit of a haze around some of the distant lights. That's an indication of a little more moisture in our atmosphere today, keeping our morning temperatures a little bit higher than they were 24 hours ago by about 5 to 7 degrees. Still, no rain in the forecast for today. I don't see it. 73 degrees, pickup time, drop-off time. Again, a warm one coming in around 89 with plenty of sunshine around. It's just going to be a little more humid. 10 out of 10 chance of outside recess today. No issues whatsoever. Tomorrow, though, different story. We'll talk about that coming up in a few.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Our nation's servicemen and women show great courage and leadership, both on and off the battlefield. When they transition to civilian life, they can apply the skills and values they learned in the military to the workplace. That's why the Coalition to Salute America's Heroes is urging employers everywhere to be smart, bet on a vet. Hiring a veteran is also a great way to show your appreciation for them. To learn more, call 1-888-44-SALUTE.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves some green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
About every 3 minutes in America, someone is diagnosed with a blood cancer.
Light the Night brings together survivors and supporters to bring light to the darkness of cancer and to help fund life-saving research. Our goal is a world without blood cancers, and we're lighting the path to cures. The discoveries made in blood cancer research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. Help defeat the darkness of cancer. Join Light the Night today.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't do dialysis, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Then Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
A decade of war has taken an unprecedented toll on our men and women in uniform.
Hundreds of thousands of our veterans are suffering from the trauma of war.
At Justice for Vets, we believe that every veteran should have the opportunity for treatment and restoration.
Get involved and go to justiceforvets.org.
Help put treatment within reach of veterans in crisis.
Veterans fought for our freedom. Now it's our turn to fight for theirs.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Over the last 24 hours, our dew point values have risen a little bit. In fact, they've risen quite a bit, actually. We were at 58 degrees for a dew point yesterday. We're now at 65. Remember, dew point, the amount of moisture that's in the air, the dew point value is directly related to how humid you feel like the air is. Dew points in the 50s, most everybody says that's really comfortable. Dew points in the low 60s, people think that's pretty comfortable. Upper 60s into the 70s, most people would say that's humid. Well, we are on our way to most people thinking it's pretty humid outside. That'll happen tomorrow. The dew point values are going to spike up into the 70s, I suspect. 67 degrees our current air temperature. We have an east-northeast wind coming in at 6. Fairly nice sky out there right now. By the time we get to 7, we'll be at about 69 degrees, 85 by 12 noon. And a few fair weather clouds building during the afternoon under the higher humidity air, both at the surface and aloft. We're looking at temperatures around 90 degrees again today, I think. Yesterday we hit 91. Well, it's pretty impressive. And then 83 degrees by the time we get to 7 p.m. this evening. So some changes coming up in the forecast in the form of this cluster of clouds headed our way. That combined with a frontal boundary sinking southward, which right now is producing some potential for some stronger storms in parts of the northeast and in the Ohio Valley today. This is not going to be the strong system that it was yesterday, producing tornadoes and bouts of severe weather. The last 48 hours has been pretty rough in the open plains in the Ohio Valley. That threat kind of diminishes significantly today. High pressure gives way to that approaching front and allows for this trough of low pressure to approach the state. The combination of those two things, the front and that trough of low pressure, is what will bring us better weekend rain chances. The front will eventually come through, whisk everything away, and bring us a nice work week next week. But first, the weekend with its higher rain chances. Sunny and warm today, better rain chances starting probably in the afternoon tomorrow and then lingering through Sunday, then cooler and slightly more humid starting tomorrow as well. Cooler not because of any colder air coming in, cooler because of the increase in cloud cover. Here's another way to look at it. You look at the amount of moisture that's available for rainfall in the atmosphere from the ground all the way to the surface of where the weather, or to the top of where the weather happens in the atmosphere. Right now, it's dry. That's why we haven't had any rain. That's why our drought indexes are going up. But the moisture associated with that little trough of low pressure lifts into our area. So not only at the surface will the humidity be going up, but also aloft as well. And that's why with a little daytime heating, you can anticipate better chances of showers and thunderstorms building tomorrow. Here's the futurecast animation from a computer model showing the showers approaching us. And then tomorrow with a little daytime heating, with a little bit stronger sea breeze, with a frontal boundary approaching, we get that better chance of showers. You can see that little spin that's being reflected at the surface from an upper level low. That is a possibility. Yeah, we're not looking at anything tropical here. We aren't going to see any strong windstorms, nothing like that. Just better chances of rainfall, much needed rainfall. Then the front, indicated here by that line of clouds to the north, sinks southward. And as it does that, everything clears out and we're left with a pretty nice work week next week. Drought indexes are still pretty high. In fact, in Charlotte County yesterday, it was recorded in real time that we had an extreme value in Charlotte County. So that is definitely not a good thing. This is the forecast for today. And again, we have several counties put in the very high category and everybody else in the high category for rapid fire danger, for rapid wildfire spread should a fire start. So we need that little bit of rainfall. We need the increase in moisture to lower that threat. And I think we'll get some of it. As I mentioned, not a whole lot across our area, but the showers are still in progress along that frontal boundary, which will be approaching over the weekend. Forecast for the winds calls for a little bit of an elevation today, 10 to 15 knot wind. Today, daytime high tops out, kind of mild, coming in around 89 degrees. Tomorrow, a little bit cooler because of the extra cloud cover coming in at 84. 50% chance of rain showers starting in the afternoon tomorrow. And then again on Sunday, that's kind of going to be like an average summertime rain chance, really. So it'll be nice to see those showers. And then as we head into next work week, yeah, we don't get a whole lot except sunshine and warm temperatures. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take a look outside your first alert traffic. Roads are starting to pick up a little bit, especially around 301 and State Road 70. That's starting to get a little bit busy around this time of the morning. Both of those in Manatee County. If we're heading into Sarasota County, those roads aren't looking too bad just yet. As you're coming off 75, though, and heading, if you're heading west on Bee Ridge Road, that area is very congested right now. So just a little heads up if you want to take maybe Fruitville or Clark and go around that area. Other than that, just give yourself a couple extra minutes. Heading a little bit farther south in the area, those roads are still looking good. If your commute includes 75 south or 41 south, farther into Port Charlotte or Punta Gorda, both of those roads are still running pretty smoothly this morning. It is 5:49, and that is your first alert traffic.
A week from today is the 13th annual Dick Vitale fundraiser for pediatric cancer research. 18-year-old Kyle Peters says Vitale was so good to him when he was recovering from brain cancer several years ago. He began his own fundraiser for Vitale at Riverview High School. Peters says the annual gala at the Ritz-Carlton helped him and dozens of other young people feel less alone while enduring cancer and the painful recovery process.
He was a really big confidence booster for a lot of kids going through treatment, and this gala is a really good way of just giving the kids the spotlight that they need during tough situations.
Vitale hopes to raise $3.5 million next Friday night at the gala, which will bring the 13-year total to $25 million.
Well, do you like your rides Fast and Furious? Well, you are going to love Universal Orlando's new attraction. The new Fast and Furious Supercharged ride opened up officially yesterday. It's interaction. It's all kinds of like twists and turns. Makes you feel like you're sitting right next to Vin Diesel in the movie. Now, the cast from the movie franchise were even on hand in Orlando earlier this week to help kick off that new ride.
What a cross promotion that is, huh?
That's right. And I was demonstrating as you're going too, like that's what you feel like in the ride.
I was dodging your arms. We'll update the day's top local news headlines after this. Stay with us.
Judy here, I think hospice was a tremendous source of support for her.
Absolutely. With Jennifer and Kimberly and Liza's constant contact with us, coming in, just knowing that there was someone with knowledge there to back us up, to answer our questions, it made a world of difference.
Is your mop a dirty, disgusting mess? You need the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System, the only mop and bucket that spins the dirt away. A system that cleans practically anything and everything with super absorbent microfiber. Dip it in the washer side and the mess releases into the bucket. Then place it in the dryer side and push on a pedal. You get a clean mop head that's practically dry and ready for more. And your hands will never again touch a dirty, disgusting mop. The heads are washable and reusable. Get the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System for just 2 payments of $19.99. You'll also get a Sticky Buddy, the reusable sticky roller that picks up pet hair and lint and washes clean in seconds. You can take advantage of our 2-for-1 Pick It Up special and get a second spin mop set. Just pay additional shipping and fee. And we'll upgrade you to free priority handling. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-394-1524 to get your Hurricane Spin Mop double offer. So hurry and call 1-800-394-1524. Call now.
Growing up, my mom was afraid of the water, something she did not want me to feel.
So I enrolled Missy in swim lessons.
It changed my life.
Missy Franklin.
And now you can do the same for someone that you love.
There's nothing more precious than your child's well-being.
So act now, before it's too late.
Make us fly! I'm glad I did.
Thanks, Mom. Visit usaswimmingfoundation.org to find, get, or give a swim lesson.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
Here's today's job of the day. ABC7 is seeking a digital content manager to join our newsroom leadership team. CMS experience required. Visit mysuncoast.com/job-of-the-day to apply.
Welcome back. Here are some of the top stories that we're following for you on the Suncoast today.
An electrical issue at a popular downtown Sarasota restaurant brought out the fire trucks early this morning at Main and Palm. Turned out to be a short in the LED lights above the bar. No real damage at Classico, and they'll open later today on schedule.
Plus, if you use Twitter, an important warning for you this morning, change your password, like right now. The company announced there is a bug. It's now been fixed, but passwords may have been revealed internally.
And Game 4 tonight of the Bolts and Bruins in Boston. The Lightning lead the series 2-1. This is round 2 of the best-of-7 playoff series.
Coming up in the next hour, what started off as a walk with an ancient discovery ended that 475 million years old. That kind of ancient, what one middle school student found. Plus, some of the best tennis pros on the Suncoast are coming together tonight for a pretty cool event. Marta Spence is going to have a live preview next hour.
And hopefully a nice night for tennis tonight, John Scalzi.
Yes, indeed. I think we're going to squeak out another nice day here on the Suncoast. But we could use some rainfall because the drought indexes again and the fire danger indexes are all very high or extremely high, in fact, across the region. So as we head into the afternoon, expect to see temperatures rise once again up to around 90 degrees. No rain today, but rain tomorrow. We'll be talking about that in about 5 minutes. Back to you.
All right, big day for Star Wars fans.
That's right. May the 4th be with you all. We're going to have more on that coming up next hour. Ray's going to love it.
If I had a nickel for each time she said that already today, it's not even 6 a.m.
It would be. Stick around. Good stuff coming up next hour in the news. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast.